Begum Hazrat Mahal, the star of Awadh. Nawab Wajid Ali Shah was the ruler of Awadh from 1847 to 1857. However, as a ruler, he was undermined by the British as someone who could not live up to his promises and who could only live in the world of poetry, music, dance, and women. In February 1856, Lord Dalhousie, the Governor General, demanded that the Nawab hand over the reins of Awadh to the British. On his refusal to sign the treaty, Awadh was annexed to the British Empire and Wajid Ali Shah was sent to Calcutta in exile. Begum Hazrat Mahal, who was one of his wives, was the only one who revolted against the British to maintain the independence of Awadh. She led the revolution from the front, uniting her people and giving the British Empire a tough fight. After her husband sent into the exile, Begum Hazrat Mahal did not meekly accept the tyranny of the British. She crowned her son British Qadar as the ruler of Awadh and took charge of the imperial authority and the affairs of Awadh. In spite of being a queen and having lived a life of luxury, she was brave enough to challenge the British. Rebels who wanted to overthrow British joined her with their troops. These included Talkadars, peasants, and foot soldiers as well. She herself went to the battlefield and led her troops against the British army. Commanding her forces bravely, she was able to seize Lucknow from the British. The Begum headed the administration in Lucknow, mobilizing a siege of the residency for 3 months. Almost 3,000 people, including British children, British and Indian soldiers, and civilians, were inside the residency. In spite of spending for additional relief forces, the British found it impossible to break the siege laid by the Begum. Begum Hazrat Mahal held the British to bay for as long she could. However, from December 1857 onwards, the tide slowly began to turn in favor of the British when they recaptured various towns and centers of rebellion like Varanasi, Allahabad, and finally Delhi. The British also played their cards well by negotiating terms with some of the kings and the chiefs to abandon their participation in the revolt against the British. Many of them decided to opt out. The British also made a similar offer to the Begum. They offered her guarantee of 1 lakh rupees as yearly pension and a treaty with the Queen Victoria in return of her surrender. Although it was tempting to take up the offer, the Begum declined it outright and refused to surrender. Subsequently, the British made more such offers, but each time she refused, preferring to energizing fight for independence of her people. Only when she realized that all hopes was lost, she thought refuge in Nepal and yet did not accept the offers of amnesty and surrender to the terms imposed by the British. She died in Nepal in 1879. Despite her husband being sent into exile, Begum Hazrat Mahal did not meekly accept the annexation of Awadh. She led the battle from the front, fought hard, and managed to keep the British at bay. Till the end, she also refused any offers of peace and amnesty from the British, as she was interested in independence of Awadh and her people rather than personal gain. Thank you. For more, please subscribe our channel.